Welcome in the Quest Number 9 podcast. My name is Seth Warner, and today we're going to talk about Kentucky's 84 to 75 win over Illinois in the round of 32. This game was really dominated by Kentucky from the beginning to end from the Wildcats, where early on Illinois had a lead, but Kentucky was really able to take control down the stretch and having as much of a 15 to 17 point lead. And today we're doing our second instant reaction. This game, Kentucky showed a lot of grit going down the stretch. With Illinois, a good team, made their final push down the stretch to really make it hard on the Wildcats. With Otega Owe, Kobe Brea, Lamont Butler all having good performances. And Kentucky overall just being very much high level in this game. Lamont Butler really played well in the first half in particular, scoring 14 points. And he was 2 from the three-point line. And his 1-3 he missed was a high-quality attempt that he just didn't get it to go down. He just felt comfortable, had a really nice snake dribble in the middle of the lane, fade away. But in that second half, Kobe Brea really took over and made some big-time shots. He had 23 points leading the team in scoring. He was 10 for 16 from the field with 3 for 8 from three and just made some big-time shots using his pump fakes and making guys be off balance. He was controlling the pace of the game with his ability to score and be that magnet and using his pump fakes and showing off what he could do off the dribble when he's a guy that's known to be more of a standstill shooter or a catch-and-shoot shooter. For Kentucky in this game, like I said, they controlled most of the time in the first half. Kentucky had a 10-ish lead most of the first half, where Kentucky really kind of gave it away at the end, where it went from about a 10-point lead to 5 going into halftime. But like this Kentucky team has done all year, they responded and came out strong, coming out and going on like an 8-0 run to start the second half, going up as many as like 17 and allowing Kentucky to really be able to dominate this game and control the pace of this game, with Amari Williams doing a little bit of everything, not having his most offensive productive game, but having a well-rounded performance, having 8 points, 6 boards, and 6 assists and 10 boards. And just overall being a really high-impact guy who can do a lot of different things on the floor, being versatile, and just having a high feel, high motor, having a really nice block on Big Z's little brother that we've talked about in the past, who's a long, lengthy 7'1" big man who could do a lot of different things. And for the SEC, this is another kind of storyline, was Kentucky being one of the SEC teams still alive. And this puts the SEC at 4. This puts the SEC at how many teams do we still have left? Because if all this puts us at 5 SEC teams going to the Sweet 16. If Alabama, right now while I'm live streaming this, is up 72 to 63. So that could potentially have the SEC having 6 Sweet 16 teams from a conference of 14 out of the first weekend. And 2 of those are going to be playing each other. It's going to be Tennessee and Kentucky on Friday. It's going to be Kentucky's 3rd time playing a Vols team and getting back onto this game. Kentucky really was able to limit this Illinois team from behind the arc that came off a hot performance shooting from 3, only being 9 for 23 or 9 for 32 from 3 at 28%. Kentucky was just really able to control the rhythm of the game with running them off the three-point line and understanding who were shooters and who was not. in keeping them out of the paint, the guys that they need to keep out of the paint. Let me see. Jasponis, the point guard, 6'6" point. He plays shooting guard and point guard a little bit for this team. Kentucky was able to keep him in check for most of the game. He played 37 minutes. He was 5 for 13 from the field, 2 for 9 from three. He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 13 points, which is not on great efficiency overall. But Kentucky was really able to control the pace of this game, I felt like, and was able to respond after every strike. So for Kentucky, Andrew Carr had a little bit of a letdown performance. Did a good job on the boards from him having 6 boards, but only had 4 points. He was 2 for 8 from the field. This Kentucky team struggled to finish around the rim some. Kobe Bray and Otega Oweh brought that up a little bit, that percentage, but Otega still had several layups at the rim where it was physical, but he wasn't able to play through that contact and finish. Colin Chandler came in and gave Kentucky some good minutes, playing 18 minutes. I thought it was an interesting decision by the coaching staff, playing Brandon Garrison at the end of the game. He ended up playing 14 minutes. He had 5 points, 4 boards, and 2 assists. He ended up with 4 fouls. Amari Williams only had 1. We really didn't have any foul trouble outside of like the Brandon Garrison 4, and Otega Oweh had 2 in the first half. He didn't have any more in the rest of the game. Sorry about that. Being able to get in transition and create for themselves and create for others by getting downhill and making this Illinois team stomp the ball. That was something they really didn't do well, especially in the first half. Kentucky was able to create steals, create transition. In that first run of the second half, Kentucky didn't create a whole lot of turnovers, but we're just able to get some consistent stops. Kentucky had over half their turnovers they created were in the first half. They turned Illinois over 14 times. 8 of those were in the first half, and a lot of those were in that first stretch where Kentucky really was able to go on a run and keep it at about 10 while not shooting particularly well and rebounding particularly well. The rebounding battle, Kentucky lost the rebounding battle 44-36, giving up 12 offensive rebounds to 9, so not much of a difference there. But Kentucky didn't shoot it well. Neither team did. For 20 from the free throw line. But to close the game, the guys that needed to make those shots did. Otega Oweh came up and made a few. Ainsley Almanor went up there and made both of his. And all the guys went up there and knocked down their shots to really give Kentucky a good cushion going in to the last stretch of the game. And another guy that really hurt Kentucky in this game, look at this, was their leading scorer, Boswell. He had 23 points in this game. He also had 6 assists and 3 boards, was just really physical. Made it hard on this Kentucky team just to create separation in the score. Answering with every strike after Kentucky created a lead. Kentucky really was never able to establish the advantage for the rest of the game. And also Kentucky played 9 guys in this game. 7 of them played double-figure minutes. Trent Noah and Ainsley Almanor came in and played 8 minutes each, but all came in and gave us some high-quality minutes. And it was a balanced offensive effort from the bench. Nobody had double figures, but we had 20 bench points. So I thought that was really strong from the Wildcats. And also, like I said, Lamont Butler had a strong performance. Otega Oweh was overall efficient, had a strong game. And this Kentucky team, like I said, created a lot of steals. All their turnovers were steals, all 14 of them. Really allowed Kentucky to get in transition and allow their offense to really create some rhythm. Amari Williams seemed really impressive in this game for me, not being particularly efficient from the field, being 4 for 11, but just doing it all, having a really nice block on Avicic, that's Big Z's little brother. And he had 3 blocks in this game, just being active, rim protector who disrupts the game with switch, being able to switch on perimeter guys while also being able to protect the rim at a high level. With Amari Williams, who just is our Swiss Army knife, I feel like, with this team. He struggled to finish around the rim in the post. Avicic for them did a pretty good job, I thought, being physical even though having a weight disparity. He was able to make Amari finish over the top, having about an inch height advantage, and also being able to keep him laterally in front of him. And something else I thought Kentucky did well, they gave up 19 points to Avicic overall. And they were able to keep him in front of them because he's not a guy that's probably going to blow by you and make you really feel uncomfortable. So Kentucky was really able to control the rhythm and make someone other than their top 3 guys beat us at the end of the day and have a lead as big as 19 or 7. It was 17 in the second half. Kentucky was able to close. I had some memories that kind of popped up of the Oklahoma game where Kentucky blew a double-digit lead in the last minute, but Kentucky was able to slow them down enough and get enough strong buckets and strong possessions to really be able to close out this game in regulation and without a huge scare. And Kentucky's going to be moving on to the Sweet 16. And that's all from the Quest Number 9 podcast. My name is Seth Warner. And if you like this content, please like, subscribe. And you can also go find us at Quest Number 9 on Instagram or Quest Number 9 on Twitter, aka X. And also, I'm going to be doing another episode taking a deeper dive into this game, rewatching it, and looking at all the different details. If you want to see that, stay tuned, and that'll be coming out in probably the next couple days. I'll see you next time.